Now, according to Porsche, this is the way to the future. On this edition of Test Drive, the Taycan Turbo S. The question is this thing a real Porsche? Porsche is not new to electric cars. In 1898, Ferdinand Porsche penned a 4-horsepower electric thing that had a top speed of just 25 kilometers an hour. Fast forward to today, and there's the Taycan. At first, the thought of Porsche going all-electric sent chills down many a spine. But when the Mission E concept was shown, that initial skepticism evaporated in a hurry. The Taycan is no less alluring than the concept, and it is so for all the right reasons. Now, the cabin of this Taycan Turbo S is exquisite. Fabulous materials, wonderful seats, and of course, all the latest mod cons. Now, there is one important button, and it sits right here on the steering wheel. When you engage it, you engage more of a one-pedal drive. Now, Porsche does say that the car can look after itself very effectively. I just prefer to be a little more involved. In the end, it doesn't matter which system you choose to use, because the system is so efficient, you'll only have to replace the brake pads once every 6 years. Time to play! The key to the Taycan is its electrifying personality. In the top Turbo S, the front electric motor makes 255 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. The beefier rear motor then adds another 449 horsepower and 405 pound-feet of torque. The upshot is the electric motors combine to give the Taycan an all-wheel drive ability and the driver access to 616 horsepower and 700 pound-feet of torque. However, when the Turbo S goes into its overboost mode, the output soars to 750 horsepower and 774 pound-feet of torque, all from Rev 1. Now, this Taycan Turbo S really is blisteringly quick. When you hit the gas pedal from a standstill, the car ends up way the heck down there, and your stomach stays back here, roughly where you took off from. The reason being, it gets you to 100k in 2.8 seconds. By way of reference, that's on par with the 911 GT2 RS. Now, if you keep the Taycan's hammer down, it'll also get you to 200k in 9.8 seconds. The Turbo S gets adaptive dampers, air springs, four-wheel steering and brake-based torque vectoring at the back end. The latter helps the rear tyres dig in and prevents unwanted wheel spin. The icing is found in the optional active roll control system. It keeps the Taycan flatter than gravy on a plate. The lot can be tweaked in 4 stages. Normal is for everyday use. Sport and Sport Plus then crank things up accordingly. Mind you, Plus really does bring the biggest smile. So that's all the techie stuff. From the driver's perspective, it comes together beautifully. It's very difficult to put a wheel wrong. It holds the driver's line through a corner with true tenacity, and the steering response, well, it's bang on. And yet, when you get out on the highway, it's also very comfortable. So you really do get the very best of both worlds. The electric motors get their juice from a 93.4 kilowatt-hour battery that delivers a driving range of 307 kilometers. Now, that is a conservative number, as I routinely saw 350 or more kilometers after a charge. It also uses a unique 800-volt architecture, which allows an 80% charge in an hour and a half when using a DC fast charger. There are, however, 2 nits. First, you can't charge using a 110-volt outlet. Why? Second, in normal mode, the car determines the amount of regen braking. This forces the driver to use Sport or Sport Plus if they want to control things with the accelerator. Even then, it does not deliver a true one-pedal drive. To answer the question off the top, this Taycan Turbo S is every inch a Porsche, and by any standard you want to use. The instant-on electric power makes it blindingly quick, it's dynamically blessed, and yet it's also a full-on luxury car, albeit a fairly expensive one. In the end, my smile will outlast the test drive.
So here's the question, where were you 32 years ago? I know some of you weren't even a glint in your father's eye. As for me, well, I was in diapers but found time to get Motoring TV off the ground. And today I like to think we've got one of the best automotive video libraries in the world. If you agree, please give us the thumbs up and also subscribe. We'd really appreciate it.